Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Prime Minister Tarique Rahman to inaugurate family card distribution as part of election pledge tomorrow. Special campaign to be conducted for public awareness as smoking and tobacco products control ordinance becomes law, says Information Minister. Accused in Hadi murder case to be brought back through Foreign Ministry, says IGP. Rationing introduced to face fuel crisis in Chattogram in the context of Iran war. IRGC supports Mojtaba Khamenei as new supreme religious leader of Iran. And Bangladesh exit AFC Women's Asian Cup after losing to Uzbekistan by 4-0. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. The family card distribution program for the poor and low-income people will start tomorrow. Prime Minister Tarique Rahman will inaugurate the program at Korail slum in the capital. All preparations for this occasion have already been completed. In the initial stage, the family card distribution program will start on an experimental basis among 6,500 families in 14 upazilas of the country. This program will be expanded across the country in phases. This family card distribution program is a part of the implementation of the election pledge of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP. Bangladesh Export Processing Zones Authority BEPSA Executive Chairman Major General Muhammad Muazzam Hussain paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Tarique Rahman. The meeting was held at the Cabinet Division of the Secretariat in the capital today. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zohiruddin Shopon said after the Smoking and Tobacco Products Control Ordinance 2025 becomes a law, a special campaign will be conducted for its implementation and public awareness. He said this at a roundtable discussion titled Tobacco Control in Public Health Protection, Government Success, Commitment and Public Expectation at the Shilpakala Academy Auditorium in the capital today. The minister said a proposal will be made to include the issue of banning smoking in public in the law brought in the first session of the Parliament. Research and Advocacy Organization PROGA and Anti-Tobacco Media Alliance ATMA jointly organized the meeting. The editor of the Daily Jugantor, poet Abdul Hai Shikdar, editor of Chorcha Sohrab Hassan, president of Bangladesh Cancer Society Dr. Ghulam Muhyiddin Farooq, executive director of PROGA ABM Zubair and other concerned persons attended the program. Newly appointed Inspector General of Police Muhammad Ali Hussain Fakir said the police will follow a zero-tolerance policy against terrorism, drugs, extortion and crime. He said this at a press briefing held at the media center of the police headquarters in the capital today. The IGP said initiatives will be taken to develop the district headquarter level police stations as zero-complaint police stations so that the public does not have any complaint complaint about the activities of the police stations. In addition, emphasis will be placed on reducing the police's response time after receiving a complaint. He said special measures are being taken to prevent violence against women, modernize the CID to reduce the time for crime investigation and prevent extortion and robbery on the highways ahead of Eid al-Fitr. He also said arrangements are being made to pay salaries in consultation with the owners and the relevant ministries to avoid possible worker dissatisfaction in the garment industry during the pre-Eid period. At that time, in response to a query from reporters about the murder of Shohid Usman bin Hadi, the IGP said the accused involved in the incident have been arrested in India, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is working through diplomatic channels to repatriate them. Today is the last day for advance ticket sale for trains to ensure smooth travel for people heading home on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr. Train tickets for March 19 were sold today. According to the decision of the Railways, ticket sale for all intercity trains in the western region started at 8 a.m. today and for intercity trains in the eastern region at 2 p.m. Advance ticket sale for train passengers started on March 3. The Iran war was created a crisis in global fuel supply, although the price of fuel in various countries has increased due to the supply crisis. The price has not been increased in Bangladesh. However, a rationing system has been introduced in the sale of fuel so that no one can take advantage of any situation, although this has caused temporary inconvenience to buyers. Petrol pump sources said there is no oil supply crisis in the country. There is adequate oil reserve, especially in Chattogram. Oil supply is being rationed as per government instructions. Terming fuel as a national resource, the government has called upon everyone to be aware to prevent misuse of fuel and spreading of any rumor. Now, international news. Iran has named Mojtaba Khamenei, the second son of slain Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as the country's new Supreme Leader. The announcement was made by Iranian state media. The Assembly of Experts, a deliberative body of 88 clerics responsible for appointing the country's highest authority, chose Mojtaba Khamenei to succeed his father following a final vote. The development marks a significant political transition in Iran following the assassination of Ali Khamenei amid the ongoing regional conflict. The Assembly of Experts has called upon the Iranian public to support the new leader simultaneously. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) and the Iranian Armed Forces have formally recognized Mojtaba Khamenei, pledging their absolute loyalty. In a statement, the IRGC declared its sincere and lifelong allegiance to the new Supreme Leader, affirming that they stand ready to execute his directives. Almost every political and security body of the Iranian state has expressed complete support for the appointment of Mojtaba Khamenei as Supreme Leader. Meanwhile, Iran has announced a nationwide gathering for the public to pledge allegiance to the country's new Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. The Islamic Propagation Coordination Council called on people to gather simultaneously across the country at 3 p.m. local time and declare their Be'ator oath of allegiance according to IRNA. In Tehran, the main gathering will take place at the city's central Inkilab Square, IRNA reported. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump warned on Sunday that Iran's next Supreme Leader would not last long without his approval. On the other hand, China's foreign ministry said Iran's choice of Mojtaba Khamenei as the country's new Supreme Leader is a domestic matter. A day earlier, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi called for respect for Iran's sovereignty and warned against attempts to change the country's governing system. The United States and Israel are continuing large-scale strikes on Iran as the war enters into the 10th day on Monday. An Iranian health official says more than 1,255 people have been killed and over 12,000 wounded in Iran in the past 9 days. Deputy Health Minister Ali Jafarian said the victims ranged in age from 8 months to 88 years, with 200 women among those killed. He added that 168 children were killed at an elementary school in Minab, while 55 healthcare workers were wounded and 11 killed, including 4 physicians, 2 nurses, and 3 emergency workers. Israel's military says it has carried out a wave of airstrikes targeting several bases and sites belonging to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, including its police headquarters and a command center in Isfahan used by the Basij Internal Security Militia. The military described the strikes as part of a phase deepening the damage to the core arrays and foundations of the Iranian regime, according to its latest war update. It also claimed that airstrikes hit a rocket engine production facility and multiple launch sites for long-range ballistic missiles. On the other hand, a U.S. military base near Erbil Airport in Iraq's Kurdistan region has been targeted in a drone attack by Iran's security sources said. Thick smoke has been seen rising from the Bapco oil refinery in Bahrain, a witness said. The smoke followed an Iranian drone attack that earlier wounded 32 and damaged in the Sitra area, the witness added. Bapco is Bahrain's main oil refinery and the key facility in the country's energy sector. The Emirati Ministry of Defense says the country's air defenses are responding to incoming missile and drone threats from Iran. Besides, several drones have been intercepted near Baghdad's international airport, according to verified footage from Al Jazeera. Overnight drones were also downed above the Ali Alam neighborhood, where a woman was reported wounded in the incident. The Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs has condemned Iran's heinous attacks on the kingdom and on other Gulf, Arab, and Islamic countries. The ministry warned that continued attacks would escalate tensions and have a profound impact on current and future relations, saying Iran's actions do not reflect wisdom and would make it the greatest loser. Meanwhile, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian has said that Iran will not bow easily to pressure from the United States and Israel. He noted that the US and Israel want to create division among Islamic countries, stressing that attempts by them to sow discord will not succeed. Meanwhile, the Chinese government's special envoy for Middle East Affairs, Zai Jun, has visited Saudi Arabia as part of his mediation of the US-Israel war with Iran. Zai was holding talks with Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud and Gulf Cooperation Council Secretary General Jassim Al Budaibi. In the meeting with Prince Faisal on Monday, Zai Jun reiterated Beijing's call for an immediate stop to military operations. Meanwhile, oil prices have spiked above $115 per barrel as the war in Iran disrupts production and shipping in the Middle East, sending shockwaves through global financial markets. The G7 finance ministers will discuss on Monday a joint release of oil from emergency reserves coordinated by the International Energy Agency, according to the Financial Times. The news source said their G7 countries, including the US, have so far expressed support for the idea. Now, sports news. Football. Bangladesh women's national football team concluded its historic debut campaign in the 2026 AFC Women's Asia Cup with a 4-0 defeat against Uzbekistan at the Perth Rectangular Stadium in Australia. Peter Butler's side struggled against a relentless Uzbek attack that needed a significant victory to keep its own knockout hopes alive. Uzbekistan's star forward Diora Khan Khabibuleva opened the scoring in just the 9th minute, capitalizing on a through ball from Nilufar Kudratova.